SoulCircle. I'm Steven.
And I'm Candice, and we're from Arcana, Mind, Body, Spirit here in Toronto, Canada. So first off, we want to thank all of you for joining us today on another beautiful morning. Birds are chirping all around me. A beautiful morning spent raising our vibe and taking literal actions to manifesting the life we want. So before we get going, Steven and I want to give a huge thank you to all of you who tuned in yesterday. It was our first live morning of our High Vibe Living for the month of June, and we got over 1,000 new views in one day across all the platforms. So we are completely grateful. Yeah, it was amazing. It's really exciting to know people are wanting to do the work and wanting to live their best life and doing it with us. So that's amazing, and we thank you. And keep tuning in, keep subscribing, keep following, and enjoying all the content that we're putting out. So why go live every morning for the month of June? Well, how to be in a space of manifestation is a question we get asked often from family, friends, our followers as well. And well, it's because when you do the work, you see the results. And we've been doing it for a while now, and we've been doing it together for a while now as well. And we can testify for sure that it works. We are seeing we have seen the results. I know, like, I've been working on very specific things for many years, and just the journey of healing in itself has been hard at times, but also it's paid off tenfold. So if you do it, you really do see those results, and you can live that high vibrational life. And we want you to have that too. So for the entire month of June, Arcana is going live every morning to connect with you and share with you how our journey of intentional living is going, the ups and the possible downs as well. No one's perfect. No day is perfect every single time. So we got to talk about that also. So please leave a comment below regarding how your day is going using the modality that we discuss each morning. And let us know how it's helping you live a high vibrational life. Ask questions. Let's open up the discussion and let's learn from each other. Maybe there's something that happened to you that can inspire us, that can inspire somebody else. And that's what we want, to build that community. So moving on, yesterday, Steven kicked us off with some Reiki. It was awesome. And I believe we're continuing with that today as well. But first, let's talk about how yesterday went. I'm going to leave this up to you, Steve, because I am not going to attempt to speak Japanese right now. Some time to practice that. So I'll let you take it from here.
Of course. Yeah. So when it comes to Reiki, we were just in a very brief introduction yesterday. We were talking about the Gokai, which are the 5 principles that help you stay connected to universal force and the light around us. So I'm going to start again today just by starting with our Japanese prayer. I'll read it again in English. And then yesterday our homework was to pick one of those and then fit it into our day. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and please leave a comment below if you were here for yesterday and how that worked out for you. Even just say hi. We'd love to see you guys. So before we get started, I always like to give a little bit of skills and some history. What we're going to talk about today is what is called gasho. Okay, and gasho is the prayer position of our hands. The traditional type of gasho is what a lot of us would know as prayer position. And there's 2 different types of gasho. So let's discover that together. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to place them in prayer position. We want to have our elbows slightly lifted so it feels that our chest is up. And there's only about a 30-degree angle for this. And then in ceremonial, formal gasho, you actually want to have the tips of your fingers up towards the top of your nose, the tip of your nose here. And this would be your position that you are going to do your work in as you do your prayer, as you're raising your vibration. Okay, so this is called Gasho. For those of you who have trouble focusing, they often say to focus on the tip of your middle finger and just focus your work right there. The whole world can take place at the tips of your fingers. Okay? If you have someone who has trouble with sensory experiences out around you, please close your eyes for this prayer. The way the Gokai were actually written is that it is rhythmic. So it's written to be said a certain way, sort of like a modern day song, right? So you take the words and the message you're trying to get across and you fit it into what takes place. And that's going to be important as we discuss today's first Gokai. All right, so hands in our Gasho position, please. Either closing your eyes or looking at the tips of your finger, either is okay. Taking a deep breath. Kyo dake wa ikarona shinpai suna kanshashite. Kyo hagame hitoni shinsetsuni. And you'll lower your hands to your heart space. This is called Mujin Gaisho. Mujin Gaisho is more used as a greeting. A lot of the times you'll see people use it as when they say namaste with reverence. A nice way of thinking is formal Gaisho is for raising energy, and Mujin Gaisho is for reverence, gratitude, and closing. Okay? Now, one more time, I'm going to say it in English. These are the 5 precepts we're going to cover over the course of the next 5 days. I'm going to start by giving the literal, traditional translation. Just for today, I will not be angry. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. Just for today, I will give thanks for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to my neighbor and all living things. And those are the 5 precepts. Anytime that you're practicing, please do what feels very organic for you. If Gasho doesn't feel like the best position for you, open palm facing, sitting up with your chakras aligned, whatever feels like the most receptive, open position, probably good for you. Okay? So Candice, which of the precepts did you choose yesterday, and how did it impact your day?
So yesterday I focused on being honest with my work, and so I was very honest. I had a meeting. I was very, very honest with how I was feeling about the work I was doing, about what I can do, what I was willing to put into it. And then I followed suit with myself throughout that day, and I didn't beat myself up. I didn't, skip lunch and work through, or, not give full attention when my daughter needed something, and like splitting my attention between the work and like talking to her while still like working. Like I didn't do that. I just focused on each thing that came to me, and with honesty, and stayed calm, and just kind of accepted everything for what it was, and put in what I knew I could in order to still stay in that place. So, and it was good. It was a good day, and I actually got a lot done. Got a lot done. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't have to work overtime for free. So, yeah, it was good. It was good. So, what about you? What was yours that you did yesterday? I think I remember, but why don't you tell everyone what yours
mine was just for today, I will not worry. That's the one I focused on yesterday. There's a few different things that could have taken place yesterday, both in my work life, in my personal life. I really don't operate in a place of worry. That's not a normal energy place for me ever. But I caught myself with a few of the choices I had to make yesterday. thinking about different possible outcomes and how it might not turn out the way that I had hoped. And I found myself sort of worrying, and I had to like take a breath on that. And you know what? In the end, I firmly believe worrying never really makes an outcome more positive. I just fundamentally believe that you can have different emotions that are not worry that are going to help your outcome. So sometimes you just have to give yourself that reminder, right? You just have to tell yourself, I'm not going to worry about it. And so it made my day excellent. I had a very nice day yesterday, and I saw different things pop up in my life. I had a really great dinner with my husband. We watched the sunset. We had a very good day with my work life. It was very good financially. It turned out overall it was a very positive day for me. So I was really happy for that.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so for today, we are going to talk a little bit, not at great length, but we're going to go through the first precept. And I want to just talk about linguistics a little bit today and how to use this energy stream for your morning practice. So the first precept is, just for today, I will not be angry. Okay? Just for today, I will not be angry. Okay, so we were talking a little bit yesterday.
What? Can I do
If you're just joining us now, Candice is an Aries. Yeah, so just for today, I will not be angry. I think nowadays in modern New Age, I guess doctrine or dogma or whatever your word is, ideology, it's very common to not use negative language. And a good example of that is, let's say we're talking about abundance, right? Or scarcity, the opposite. So if you're thinking like, oh, I'm not poor, I'm not poor, I'm not poor, I'm not poor, my energy is focused on being poor and not being something. And where it's very different to say, I'm abundant. Abundance flows to me from all sources, seen and unseen. It's a very different thought process and energy that you're calling in. So a lot of the times you'll end up seeing that this precept, it has nowadays been translated very differently. The two most common that I've seen are, just for today, I will be happy, or just for today, I choose to be happy. Okay? And I like to think of it this way. There are some days in your life that when you wake up, you know you're going to probably have a good day. The things that are coming to you, it's just going to be a good day. It's an easier day. You know that happiness is going to come flowing a little bit easier. There are some days where you may have to choose to be happy. You may have to put on a little bit of a brave face. You may have to make decisions that are based around choosing your own personal well-being. And then there are some days where it might be an extremely tough day. You might be in the throes of great conflict. So on those days, you want to choose not to be angry. You will not be angry, right? Because you can use that energy in a different way. So I like to think of these precepts as the linguistics itself doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about where your energy state is, where your body temple is, where your mind space is. What is it that aligns with this Gokai, with this precept, that will make your day better? Okay? So as we're on this thought process, a really nice way to assign these into your memory and to think of the precepts and get them in your brain is to think about what happiness means for you. What is happiness? Take a moment and think about the last moment you felt extreme happiness, gratitude, energy flowing into you. What did that feel like? What did your skin feel like? What did it taste like? What were you seeing? Did you have goosebumps and shivers? How long did it last? Like, make it a really visceral experience. And if that is a difficult thing for you, then you should probably look at maybe why doesn't happiness flow to you? Why are we existing in a place of anger? What are the things that have to take place? Because at the end of the day, we are the architect. Our opinion on something doesn't really change the situation. We can choose to be angry, we can choose to be happy, right? Some situations can suck, but what we do with it and why it's there in our life is probably important. And we have to look at why it's there and choose our own personal happiest timeline. So Candice, why don't I ask you, do you have any examples that come to mind of like where maybe you had to choose happiness or anything that I'm saying? Is there an example that comes to mind?
Yeah, something that popped up when we were talking. There's a couple times, but when I left my my partner of 8 years, the father of my daughter, and I came back to Canada and I had to restart life, and I was going through a really, really hard time. And there were days where consecutive days, let's not play, where I was not even able to get up to eat, shower, talk to anyone, anything. And it was really hard. I was going through a really, really hard time. Yeah. And but you know, I had a 3, almost 4-year-old little girl who wanted her mom. And I remember one day specifically, just I sat up out of my shell and that I had created, my nest that I created for myself. And I sat up and I was just like, it's the middle of summer. I'm going to go to the beach and I'm going to like look my daughter in the eye and I'm going to smile and I'm going to be happy for, you know, having a home to come to that's safe, having people here who will allow me to go through these motions that I'm going through right now, that I'm away from the, you know, source of pain that has been there for so long. And I'm healthy physically, you know, that my daughter is healthy physically, that she, you know, is being protected from all the things that are happening. There was so much to be grateful for. And I think that day I chose to be happy, and we had a beautiful day. Went to the beach, and it was like, you know, you get to a mind frame, it's like, oh, I'm never going to find love again. That part of my life experience is over. I don't trust. I'm like this, like I was not taking care of myself in any way. And I remember going to the beach and there was this like family having a barbecue and they had like boats and were like, do you want to share the boats with us? And this man was being very polite. He was very nice, was very handsome. And he was trying to flirt with me and I didn't take it there because I was not ready at all. But I remember small flame that started to come and was like, oh yeah, like life and like talking and conversing and like romantic inclinations, even just that itself, and like families having fun and like this unity and this vibe, and the sun is shining and I'm swimming and it felt really good. And I chose to be happy and I got so much healing that day without expecting it, you know, versus just sitting in my nest that I have made to wallow. I chose to be happy and I got a lot out of that day. And I think sometimes going back, before I ask you, Stephen, about your memory, if you can't think of what happiness feels like, remember that you know you're sad because you have something to compare it to. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have to sit down, and journaling is a great tool. And sometimes you can write down like, okay, what do I think happiness is? And the fact that you have even that, you have that comparison, you have something to balance off. So there was a time, and maybe you can't remember it because you're so deep in that. But if you do what we're doing today and you choose to just be happy, happy means something different for everybody, right? So just choosing to be calm, choosing not to think about that which hurts you that day, maybe even, and see what comes up from that. And the feeling that is the opposite of that can go on your list of happiness. You know what I mean? And that can be a tool for you, for your healing and for changing your vibe, right? Yeah. So Steve, what about you? What's an experience where you choose to be happy? Or like, I'm going to be happy today?
Yeah. When I was younger, I manifested a perfect dream job for myself right out of college, and it was like everything that I wanted. I was like on tour and I was singing and dancing on stage every night. I was like super, super, super happy for a long period of time. And I got an amazing opportunity when that tour was finishing to go do a job that was down in Miami. And I was super excited to move to Miami. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my God, now I'm going to Miami. This is awesome. When I got to Miami, I'm pretty sure I cried alone in my apartment for like a week. I was like a miserable, homesick, lonely human being. And it was very easy for me to sort of get lost in this shell. You know, I was like, I had this lovely condo, and out my window was like the beach, and all I could think of was like, this is beautiful, but I'm alone here, and I'm alone, and my mind is all about loneliness and blah 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 blah. And I had just been on tour living with like a family kind of unit, so I was very used to having people around, so it was very challenging. And then I remember very actively one morning waking up and being like, wait, hold on. And I walked to the window and I opened my balcony and I looked out at the ocean, and I just remember like laughing like a hysterical weird clown, like laughing, smiling, happy, like, oh my gosh, where am I? Like, why am I possibly sad? Sure, this looks and feels different, but you wanted this. This is what you want. And it was all just my mindset. My mindset was in a space of scarcity, and I had to look at my present moment. And the moment that happened, I ended up, so much opportunity happened. Within that job, I met my husband. I ended up creating a nest egg that created a lot more abundance for myself, that allowed me to have a lot more freedom. And it just became probably one of the greatest decisions I ever made. And I remember literally being like a mess for a week, like looking at old photo albums, and like I was just like an emo weirdo. So, but it all came down to my mindset, and I think that's very important. I think as we work on these precepts, the point is it's all about our mindset. And by waking up in the morning and choosing to feel a certain way, you are taking control of your day rather than just being reactive to your day. All right, so we are just finishing up here. Just before we go, we always like to choose our guide card for today. And I mean, there's a lot of energy astrologically today. For those of you who love astrology, Venus is now entering Cancer, which is like love, entering emotions and all that good stuff. But what's really awesome about it is Mars is there. So Mars and Venus are like the lovers of astrology, right? That's like the man and woman, and we're joining, and they're in Cancer together. So, and it's gonna be that way for a little while. So there's gonna be all kinds of feelings and that lovey-dovey. So I think it is time to choose that happiness, which for our guide card is fantastic. So we're working with the Light Seers Tarot today, and the card that we've chosen as our guide today is the Knight of Swords. If you look at this card, this knight is determined. He is running in the direction of his dreams. There is no ambiguity here. He is choosing his own path, and he does it unafraid. All right, so today we empower you to be that Knight of Swords. Choose your happiness. If you could make a choice today that could impact your life greatly for the positive, do it. We are here to empower you to do so. Candice, any final words today?
Nope, just good luck, and please let us know how it's going. I want to hear how people were impacted by their day when they've made these choices. And yeah, I would love to hear everyone's story. When did you choose happiness? Maybe it was today. Yeah. Maybe today's the first day you're actively and consciously choosing to be happy. So
and
let us know.
It's true, we are so proud of you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is the work. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Namaste, Soul Circle. Go get them, Tigers.
Much love. Much love. Mwah. Good luck.